Hi everybody, welcome to Fab Fit Friday. I'm super excited. Today I'm going to share my jeans that are almost finished. I'm going to talk about the back pocket. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do for the hem, but after a exhaustive search of all of my trims, I couldn't find the kind of black sort of twill tape I want to use for this method. So I'm going to show you the hem on the original jeans. I'm going to talk about how I'm going to finish them, and I'm going to talk about some of the steps that I did to make these jeans that I don't like and I'm going to fix for the actual instructions. Hi Linda Lee, welcome. I think it's just you and me right now. I'm a little bit exhausted because I've been running around all over the state and actually New England this week for the championship games for the Eastern Connecticut State volleyball team, because my daughter's senior year is this year, and we had to go 3 hours to Plymouth, New Hampshire for a game last night, and it was so exciting we won. But I'm a little pooped. So tomorrow is the final championship game at UMass Boston at 1 o'clock in the middle of the afternoon, which is nice. So I'm looking forward to that. Hi Diane, hi Jerry. Oh, Jerry says, love watching your creations come to life. Oh, thank you. Excuse me. Thank you, Jerry. I also want to see if, hi Diane. What a game. How long is the drive to Mass tomorrow? Well, tomorrow the drive to Mass is about half the drive of Plymouth, New Hampshire. So it's about an hour and a half instead of 3 hours we did last night. So, plus it's in the middle of the day. So it'll be better than being late at night. But I'll tell you what, after that game, I'm going to go with my daughter to UConn because she's reffing, or I think she's reffing or doing score or something for the UConn game. So I will be watching her, or watching the game and watching my daughter in action, my older daughter. So I will actually not get home till late tomorrow night, but UConn's only about a half an hour away, so it'll be easy home. Hi Mary. Mary, I am sending you prayers and good vibrations for a speedy recovery for your cataract surgery. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. All right, so I want to say this happened. Can you read what that says? It says, from your favorite student. I got this in the mail, 3 of these. So if anybody watching is my favorite student, let me know so I can thank you personally. But I got 3 of these in the mail. They came from Fabric Mart Fabric with this little note that says, from your favorite student. So that was very nice. So if you're watching and it was you, thank you so much. You know, maybe let me know. I always love getting little fun things like this in the mail. Makes me feel very special. Oh, Mary loves my top. Yes, I was thinking of you actually, Mary. This is a little mock turtleneck, and it kind of looks very similar to the crew neck that you made, that you posted in the group, which I loved as well, by the way. Oh, Jerry says, great gift. Yes, well, any of you who know me know that seam rippers are my favorite. So now I have 3 of those, and I have like 2 of the other ones that I haven't broken yet. So I've got a lot of seam rippers in my stash, which makes me very, very happy. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Instead of putting the jeans on to try to show you and not being sure if you can see, I had my husband take a picture and I lightened it. So I think it's a good view. So I'm going to show you my back view right here. So this is how the jeans fit me in their current state. And you can see I put the pocket in there. I don't know, can you see? Let me make it a little bit lighter. Hi, Dagmar from Germany. Welcome. Oh, blowing it out doesn't help that much, but you can see the pocket is right here. Okay, and what I did was I positioned the pocket so that it was covering the top of the back dart. But the problem is, let me see if I can, oh, you know what I'll do? I'll cut out the pocket so you can see where it is. I'm just going to cut it right out of the picture. That way you can see where the pocket is. Because the problem is it's too low on my butt. So here's the pocket. All right, so now you can see that's where the pocket is. Okay, and the line for the bottom of the yoke is right here. So let me just draw that for you. So this is basically where the bottom of the yoke is. So I feel like this is a little bit too low, and I think it's a little bit low on my back leg. Although I'll tell you, one of my favorite pairs or brands of jeans is True Religion jeans, and they have big pockets and they are low. So, you know, it's not necessarily wrong. I just would like to hike the pocket up. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to extend my dart a little bit higher so I can cover the bottom of it with that pocket. Diane Fetters, you're the one that gave me the seam rippers. Thank you so much. Oh, I really appreciate you. I do. I have them in my drawer, nice and organized, and I have two, my brown and a blue one that I opened. And oh, yes. Okay, wait a minute. All right, so it is too low. So I'm going to hike it up, but I'm going to have to bring my dart up a little higher so that the pink line goes up, you know, into the bottom of the pocket. So I am going to fix that for the next pair. I'm going to put the other one on for these though. I will tell you the biggest thing about these jeans is they are so comfortable. When I have them on, they don't shift or slide around. I can sit in them, I can stand in them, I can touch my toes in them, and they are extremely comfortable. So the thing is, the way I wear my tops, you probably will only see a peek of the bottom of the pocket anyway. So basically, that's where we are with the construction. Hi Netwear, welcome. Diane figured it was Diane. All right, I want to talk about the seam rippers for 1 second here. I believe, now watch, I'm not going to be able to find the brown one. I just want to talk about seam rippers for 1 second. Of course, well that's right, I will get the one that I have organized away. Okay. All right, so what I want to show you is, depending on what you're using your seam ripper for, having a variety of styles of seam rippers is a really good idea. You can see that this one has a tiny little blade right there, and when you can compare it to the one that Diane got me, see how much bigger that is? Okay, so this one is the Dritz. Let me show you the package. This is the deluxe seam ripper from Dritz. This is the seam ripper from Clover. Now, the one thing I want to say is, if I'm trying to take apart something that's really tough, usually it involves denim, this is the better option because this blade won't break. I've broken the tip off of many seam rippers when I use these finer points. So I think it's very good to have a variety of seam rippers. So I just want to point out to you that, you know, bigger can be better. Sometimes bigger is not better, and having the smaller one, if you're trying to pick out something delicate, is better. So this is why I'm super excited now that I have two different seam rippers with two different size blades. Okay, Dagmar wants to know how much stretch is in the fabric. Almost none. You'll see it has a little bit of give, but really it's almost like a mechanical give versus a stretch. I could probably pull it to almost an inch on 10 inches, but I'd have to use all my muscle to get it there. So it's really not that stretchy. But the fit of it is amazing. Now, I will say there probably are a few more wrinkles in the back than I would be happy with if I was dealing with a pattern with a side seam. But all the shaping comes from the darts and the inseam, so it may have a few more little wrinkles going on, but when I compare that to the fit and how comfortable they are, they stay right up at my waist, which is really nice. And I'm also happy to report that one of my pattern testers has expressed to me that it really isn't a problem that there is not side seams. Because one of the things I was testing was if people would have a hard time fitting the pattern to themselves if there were no side seams. So I don't think that's going to be an issue. And I'm very excited about this. So what I want to do now is show you. I have one pocket sewn on. You can see it right here. Let me make it a little bit lighter so you can see. All right, so there's the pocket. And what I want to show you here is, look at how you can't see the lining at all. Okay, this is a lined pocket. And the lining is staying on the inside, except you can see it a little bit along the bottom edge, just a teeny little bit down there. But on the sides, it's completely hidden inside the pocket. I'm going to show you what I did to get that. Let me just see here. Linda Lee says, I use a scalpel type from Havel. Love it. Use it for everything. I have others, but time the Havel. I'll try the Havel. Yeah, maybe I will try that. I have a friend who uses a straight razor blade, and she uses that to take out everything, and it just makes me nervous. I'm wondering if the scalpel type thing would be dangerous in my hands, because I'm like a bull in a china shop sometimes. But I do know that people like that. All right, so what I want to do is I want to just show you here what I did. So I think I showed this last time. I used my Liberty of London printed cotton to line these pockets. And after I sewed it around and turned it to the right side, what I did was I created this pleat. So see, I basically pleated out about 5/8 to 3/4 of an inch from the bottom to the top, and I pressed it. I didn't sew it, I just pleated it there. And what it did was it drew in the lining, so you can see from the side of the pocket, see how it draws the denim to the wrong side? So that's what I did to create sides that don't, so the lining doesn't show outside the pocket. Another option is you could actually cut the lining that little bit smaller, but I almost think, you know, having it be the same size and then just pleating it out, like I pleated it right up through the top. Okay, and then what I did was I sewed the pleat down here before I clipped my corners and then pressed it down. So that's how I did the pocket on the inside. Oh, Diane has a friend who does that too, and she learned it from her mother decades ago. See? Wonderful. All right, so that's how the pocket is, and basically I'm not gonna lie, I'm really tired today, so I'm not gonna sew anything because I will wreck it if I try to sew it. But basically, this is gonna go on right here to finish my back view. Okay. All right, so that's going to get sewn on right there. And the way I'm sewing it on is I'm sewing really close to the edge. And then when I get over here, I'm counting 5 stitches across the top and then curving back in. And to keep my top stitching even, I'm using the side of my straight stitch foot as a guide along the edge of the pocket to sew that inner line of stitching. So that's what I'm doing for my top stitching. Oh, Jerry says all that's old is new again. Well, I will tell you, I think pretty much by now everything has already been discovered, so it's just a matter of how you put it into action. All right, so that's how I'm going to do the pocket. Like I said, I'm not going to sew it today because I'm really tired, and when I'm tired, I sew like a yucky person. All right, so now I want to show you something that I really don't like. Okay, so oh, hi, Miss D. You're back from a 2.5-hour power outage. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. I'm glad you got your power back on, and welcome. All right, whoops, I'm just gonna, whoops. All right, I just want to show you something here. I'm going to blow it out really bright. Okay, so one part about this construction that I don't like is, if you followed along with me last week, you saw me trying to put this yoke on backwards. I had the center front in the back and the center back in the front. And what was happening was, obviously, the back is more curved, so it's bigger from here, like from about here to here. So I was having trouble fitting it in. So after I got off last week, I took it off and I fixed it. So one of the things that I found to be really helpful, was after well, first, when I put the belt loops on, I not only pinned them face up, but I also stuck them on with Wonder Tape that extended farther than the width of the belt loop. And then when I put the yoke on like this, it's stuck there, and it helped me keep that even to sew across the top even. Then I flip the yoke down, and I press this under like I did last week, but now it's fitting. Okay, so after I carefully turn the edge under so that it covered the seam from the waist yoke underneath, I sewed it down with black thread, and you can see, I can zoom in really close, you cannot see that stitching. Okay, so I actually machine basted the edge in black first, and then that allowed me to sew really neatly along that folded edge. All right, so that's one thing that I did, and that will be part of the instructions for this pattern. But the thing I don't like is, in order to sew this on and flip it down and be able to catch the belt loops in the seam like this and have this little edge showing, because that was one of the details of the original jean, I don't like just having that edge like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a bias strip of woven cotton to sort of bind the edge before I put the belt loops and yoke on, you know, when I make my absolute real deal pair. So whatever fabric I use for my pocket bags, I'll also use to finish off the edge of this. And I'm not going to sew it down. I'm going to sew it from the wrong side, wrap it around to the right side, and I'm just going to pin it in place. I'm not going to sew it down because I'll be able to catch that. I believe I'll be able to catch it neatly in all this top stitching and stitching later. So that's the one thing I'm going to change about that. The other thing is, I think I talked about this last week, I'm going to make deeper pocket bags because for me, they're decorative. I would never put anything in my front pocket. But this is too short to even allow the pocket openings to lay nice and, you know, flat. So I think what I'm going to do for this pair, see, because it does this a lot. So what I'm going to do for this pair is I'm simply going to get it to lay nice. And I'm just going to top stitch it in black through all the layers to hold it there. So they'll stay shut. And I also think I'm going to shorten the front pocket opening about an inch, or maybe an inch and a quarter, because I need to have room for a fly here. Because next week I'm going to show you my mock-up for the front fly. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it so you can either insert a zipper or do the combination of snaps and buttons. Okay, so if you'd rather have a zipper with a regular fly, you can do that. Or if you'd rather have the button fly, you have the button fly. And then I think for the zipper option, I'm going to have to put a button tab across the top of it to keep it closed and, you know, nice against you, because yeah, so anyway, so those are the things I'm thinking about. So next week I'm going to show you some fly construction, because my next pair will have the full fly. I just wanted to play with it without the fly. Oh, Diane. Okay, Diane said, sorry, I was referring to the razor blade. I don't know what that means, but you don't have to apologize for whatever. And then Netwear says, absolutely beautiful top stitching. Thank you. I am loving the pink. I'll have to admit to you that the pink is kind of fun. The other thing I may do is, instead of tacking the belt loops down individually, I may actually draw a line and stitch all the way across, and then when I get to the belt loop, just double stitch them. So there'd be an extra row of stitching here. I might try that on my next pair. We'll see. And then the hem is going to look like, oops, the hem is going to look like this. I was so sure that I had black twill tape, and then when I spent an hour looking for it and realized I didn't. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to sew twill tape onto the edge of the jean so it's wrong side, so when you flip it up, the seam is encased inside here, and then I'm going to top stitch it in place like this. So that's what the actual seam will look like. So it'll have like a little cuff. So I will update you on that next week as well. Like I said, I was shocked that I couldn't find just some simple black twill tape in my stash to do it. So that's how I will be finishing the bottom of the jeans. Oh, Jerry says the pink top stitching is a delight. Well, Jerry, you're a delight too. So happy you joined us. Okay. All right, so now that's all I'm going to do for the jeans for today. I am going to finish them so I can wear them to tomorrow's game at UMass Boston for the championship for volleyball. So maybe these will be very lucky. I'm also going to make another raglan sleeve top to wear for tomorrow, because I wore raglan sleeves for the first two games. And I think they're lucky. So I may make myself a new raglan if I have time later. All right, so now what I want to show you is I have my All right, I have a very exciting day on Monday. I don't know if I mentioned this to you yet. Oh my God, Mary wants me to use pink tape around the hem. Ooh, what if I top stitched pink under the black twill tape? Because if I use pink, then I'll be limited in what I could wear it with. I don't know. I'll think about it, Mary. I'll think about it. Okay, so I want to show you this. This is my pieces for my princess themed cover for my DittoForm. You may have remembered, if you follow along with me for any length of time, at one point I was making a cover for my DittoForm, and I made it out of a velvet fabric, which in hindsight wasn't, I mean, it was an okay choice, but then the problem was my DittoForm was too big from the get-go, and then adding that cover made it a little bit bigger. So I have, well, apparently, all right, so I only have 1/2. Let me move this out of the way. And this is the bottom. Okay, so this right here is my cover. These are the front pieces, and I also have the back pieces right here. So I have my side back and my center. Oh, I think this goes to here actually. This goes to here. And then this is my side back. And then I also have my, oh, this must be my center back. Maybe? Nope. Looks like I'm missing a piece. I'm missing a piece here. But basically what I want to show you here is I'm going to sew this together. I'm going to make a paper pattern out of this. I'm going to sew it together, and I'm going to try it on me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it in on all of the princess seam lines so it fits, because Monday Carol from DittoForm is visiting me. I am so excited. Let me just show you here. Okay, so here's my girl, and she's going to get an overhaul on Monday. Hi, Andrea, welcome. So she's going to get a sort of a shape up, because I did compared some of my measurements. So for example, the band measurement underneath my bust is 1.5 inches bigger than me now. And, you know, the tummy's about 1 inch bigger. The legs are 2 inches bigger. So my legs went from 27 inches to 25 inches. And then there's also an issue with my shoulder and my back. And I really want to start using my DittoForm to make other stuff. But when I put things on it, it pulls from the shoulder like diagonally through the bust like this. So I'm going to be working with Carol to fit this to myself. So I'm really, really excited about that. So that's what I'm going to be doing on Monday. With Carol. So I'm super excited. So over the weekend, besides doing, besides working on finishing my jeans, going to volleyball, I'm also going to be making a sloper to have so we can compare how my shape is, and then we can use it to compare how my DittoForm is fitting. So that's what I'm going to be doing with that. Okay. Okay, so Linda Lee, are you asking what is this fabric? This is, if you're asking what this fabric is, it's white Kona cotton. I wanted to use sort of a hefty white fabric to make my first, when I draped it on. So this is white fabric, Kona cotton, and I'm going to trace it onto pattern paper, and I'm going to make a paper pattern so I can then cut it out of something else and fit it onto me, because these pieces don't have any seam allowances. Okay, so this is what I draped, right onto my form like this, basically, to fit on my DittoForm. So once I sew this together and try it on me, I'll be able to pin out all the extra fabric. That's what I'm hoping. And I think I'm also going to have to play with my armhole, because my armhole on here is much deeper than it should be. It hangs down low. So that's what I'm going to be doing with this. So these are the fabric pieces I draped onto my DittoForm. And I will be, like I said, I'm going to use some other version of cotton to sew up my fit muslin. So, and that way we won't have to keep measuring me and measuring the form. We can just put this on and see how we're doing. So that's what I plan on having Monday, and I'm sure I will have um, some updates for you and maybe some behind the scenes pictures of our process. I'll post them in the J Stern Designs Fit Sew Embroider group. So that's my report for today. I know this is really short considering I've been doing like 2.5 hour live streams lately with the construction and stuff on those jeans, but I just wanted to check in with you and tell you all these fun things that's happening. And starting, all right, so next week, I'm just going to admit to you that my schedule is completely packed, and then adding on all these extra volleyball games this week has really kind of done my schedule in terms of getting stuff done this week. So I'm just taking a mother week, and I'm just going to be there for my daughter. And you know, if they win tomorrow, they go to the first game of the NCAA big conference championship. But in reality, they, you know, that's a big thing. We might get another game or two out of it. But then after that, volleyball's over, and I can refocus on everything I'm doing because I really want to get my embroidery going. And you know, if you're busy like me and you have all these interests, and then you say to yourself, oh, I want to do this too, what I've realized is you need to give yourself a second job. So for example, I've been trying to fit my embroidery topic into my 9 to 5 job, and that's not working. So now that volleyball's over, I'm going to pick a couple nights a week that I would be going to a volleyball game, and I'm going to work at night to do my embroidery. And that's how I'll be able to add embroidery into my schedule, because trying to add it in what I'm doing is not working because I'm busy doing all the other things that I love to do during the day. So I will be having a second part-time job to do embroidery going forward, you know, picking a couple nights a week and working on that after dinner. So that's what I decided I'm going to do. So anyway, that's my report. I really appreciate all of you for watching. Oh, okay, wait a minute. All right, so, oh, Jerry says, get some rest. We need you healthy. Oh, I'm fine. I'm still taking me time. I hiked. I went to bed the minute I got home. I'm okay. I'm just, you know, all amped up and excited, and it's just taking up all my time. Netwear says, happy sewing, happy championship game. And Mary says, did your daughter reach her goals? What's happening is, okay, so what happened was, they finished the regular season last Saturday, and they beat Dartmouth, UMass Dartmouth. So then they got to be 5th out of 6 teams going into the playoffs because UMass Boston snuck ahead of everybody because they beat the 2 teams we lost to over the regular season. So on Tuesday night we played WestCon, who killed us during the regular season, and we beat them in a 5-game thriller. Like it was ridiculous. It was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and the scores went way above the 25. And then, so since we beat them, we got to go to game 2 last night at Plymouth, New Hampshire, and Plymouth, New Hampshire was undefeated in the regular season. So going into that game, you know, I was not really sure we were going to be able to pull that out, but we did. So that means we've now made it to the final championship game on Saturday. So that's what's happening with volleyball. It's, you know, if you want to watch the game, just go to Eastern Connecticut volleyball. If you put in Eastern Connecticut volleyball, it'll come up on Google, and you can watch the game live. You know, you can stream it. Very exciting stuff. You know, and then if they win tomorrow, they get to go to the first game of the NCAA. So we'll see. But anyway, so that's been very exciting. But honestly, the more exciting thing is she's going to school to be a like a early childhood education teacher, like probably first grade, kindergarten, first grade, and she had her 4th classroom observation, and it went really, really well. So I'm excited that she's actually probably more excited about her future in teaching and then also reffing volleyball. So I'm just very happy for her. So that's my report on that. And I really appreciate you guys watching and hanging out with me. And Diane, thank you for the seam rippers. That was so nice. I will cherish them and try not to rip the tips off. Although I can't promise I won't do that. So I really appreciate you. Anyway, have a wonderful weekend. I'm also going to squeeze some bust fitting in a knitting class. And of course, the first class is, I'll be watching it in the car on the way to the game because it's from 11 to 1 and the game starts at 1. So I'll be able to watch probably the first hour and a half maybe. So I'll be learning that knitting fitting too, which I don't know. I'm almost thinking that might help me fit sewing garments too. I don't know. I'm very interested to see how short rows and how you add and get things to fit. So I'm kind of excited about that. Oh, Mary says, was it kills that she had so many? Yeah, well, yes. Abby's probably, there's two really good players. Well, there's a lot of good players on the team, but Anna Berry got her 1,000th kill during the game. So I'll just show you here. Let me see. Oops. Oops. Let me shut that off. So if I go to Eastern Volleyball, well, here's my daughter, Abby. Oh, let me do it this way. Okay, so Abby, during the game last night, she got 16 kills and 15 digs. And then Anna Berry got her 1,000th kill during last night's game, which was super exciting. I guess that's a benchmark in college. And then Meg, our setter, got 63 assists on Tuesday's game. And Anna Berry got 31 kills on Tuesday's game. That's like amazing. But, you know, Abby's doing really, really well. And the cool thing about watching Abby play is that she can be in the back row and play just as well as she plays in the front row. So it's super exciting. No. All right. Diane says, okay, Mom, maybe you're trying too hard to accomplish too much. Don't hesitate to give yourself a break from us. Don't forget link for tomorrow's game. Go Warriors, and best wishes to Abby in career. Well, okay, so in fairness, I did not do any sewing and I didn't prep anything new to show you today because I am tired. So I am taking a little bit of a break. I am. So I appreciate you, Diane. So, but you have to remember, doing Fab Fit Friday is my favorite thing to do on Friday. So I'm not torturing myself by coming here and hanging out with you guys for some time. If I was perkier, I would have sewed together my muslin and showed you how I was going to work with that, but I ran out of steam there. So I am actually taking it a little easy today. So anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I will post an update in our group about what happened at tomorrow's game. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you Tuesday for Fit Tip Tuesday, and that may be a behind the scenes of what happened with DittoForm, if I can get that going, like if I can shoot things while we're working. Otherwise, I will pick a question from a subscriber to answer. So those are my plans for Tuesday. And then remember, next Friday, I'm going to show you the front fly construction for this jeans pattern. So that's all I have new on the docket for this week coming up. So anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you again very soon. And thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. All right, so I'm going to sign off now because I'm starting to ramble. All right, have a lovely day. Bye.